All right, wish me luck with this. I'm going in dry. Let's see. I gave some thought to whether or not do I cover the EVS stuff that happened today or not. Do you want me to, or should I just let sleeping frogs lie? Do I want to mess with a channel that has 100,000 loyal followers who would go and downvote all my videos, or have them put dildos on my head? Please don't put dildos on my head. There are 2 news items about EVS that I could cover, but keep in mind, I don't have a problem with EVS. In the argument with him and the dozens of people he's fighting with, Edwin Boyette, Mike Miller, Sashi, Nurkic, Doug TenNapel, Tim Lim, and everyone else, I think the obvious answer is... Oh, hold on. The obvious answer is that when you're fighting a dozen people, what are the odds that a dozen of them are the a-holes, or what are the odds that you're the a-hole? And here's the thing. I'm an ass. Mike is an ass. Ethan is an ass. But Edwin Boyette is not an ass. He has been nothing but a mature adult about everything. So when you and your acolytes accuse him of using methamphetamines or make fun of the way he speaks, then that just makes you guys dicks. I have had some interaction with everyone in Comicsgate except for one person. Who probably, well, never mind. And everyone has been cool at times and been a jerk at times, like normal people. Everyone except Edwin. He's just been a nice, mature adult. So if your team is calling him Methwin and making gay sex memes with him, doesn't that make you guys the bad guys? The whole thing is bizarre. It's a bunch of adults who are in the business of selling comics, or in the business of enjoying comics. And EVS has been fighting with people about it for a year, maybe more than a year, since the Nurkic split off or the Tim Lim transcript thing. I don't know which one came first. Now EVS is saying that the old Comicsgate is dead and that he's the new messiah of the reborn Comicsgate. Is EVS Jesus Christ, or is he closer to Lucifer? He's more of a Pan than either, a forced fairy who just wants to cause as much chaos as possible as long as he is the center of attention. Oh yeah, I've got a PayPal, a Patreon, a Coffee account, a Cash App. I got all that kind of stuff. I had it way before the channel for other things. But this is my Teespring account. I make these T-shirts, and I think they're pretty cool. So take a look at them or not. And if you have a design you want to send me, send it in. We'll make a T-shirt, and I will split the profits with you. Oh, and guess what? About EVS, I admire his hustle. He knows how the YouTube business model works. The more outrage he can generate, the more super chats he gets, the more eyeballs he gets, the more frog books he sells. He knows this. I know it. It's not a bad thing. He is giving you entertainment, and you pay him in super chats. That's called capitalism. Misspelled. People have given me money and comics, and I'm not even close to being as good as he is. People have been very generous. Someone give me a computer, too. I think they want me to live stream with it. Thank you for the computer and monitor. EVS might be a huge jerk who backstabs his old friends, but he is providing you with entertainment, and you guys gave him $1 million. That is a fair exchange. Most entertainers are horrible people. However, in EVS's defense, he has helped a lot of people get their books out there. Hate him all you want, but he has helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for guests on his show. It's why I am so gentle with him. He can be a douchebag, but he is a douche that helps a lot of people fulfill their dreams of making and selling comics. But as a consequence, he has slowly seized control of Comicsgate. And you either play ball his way, i.e. kiss his ass, or you are dead to him and his followers will downvote your videos and attack you in the comments and threaten you on Twitter and YouTube. And there goes 10 subs. Comicsgate shifted from being about us, and I realize this whole video is going to cost me subs, but hey, it's only YouTube. We're all here just having fun. So Comicsgate has shifted from being about us, the People's Republic of Comicsgate, and become EVS's Comicsgate. And he now says that if you disagree with him, then you're anti-Comicsgate. This is a clever technique manipulative people use to gather support. People have issues with EVS and not with Comicsgate and the guys in it. Now EVS has manipulated the narrative that instead of Doug, Mike, Edwin, Nurkic, Saucy, Tim having a personal issue with EVS, they hate all 100,000 people in Comicsgate, and that's just nonsense. He is conflating himself with Comicsgate because he is the Messiah, EVS 316. The thing you notice with narcissistic personalities is that their circle of friends keep changing over time. The old friends learn how manipulative the narcissistic personality is, and they leave him, but he has to be the center of attention, so he quickly gathers new acolytes. And let me keep it 100 with you. If I was in Mike's position with 5 kids in expensive California, and I was a Christian who was blacklisted because of my beliefs, I wouldn't be on Twitter saying pride is a sin. The LGBT crowd has zero religion. They don't believe in God or heaven or hell, or even the concept of sin. Telling them they're sinners is like trying to teach a fish calculus. The concepts just don't exist for them. The idea of sin relates to a higher power who is ostensibly offended by sin. They are mostly communist atheists. Their worldview has no concept of sin because there's no loving God. All cultures are equal and morality is relative. Because there is no line in the sand, no final arbiter of justice, no law, just emotion. How dope is this shirt? Oh, let me tell you a little something about Teespring and the YouTubers who are selling t-shirts. Hey, I realize you're on YouTube. Everyone has great channels. They can sell t-shirts for whatever they want. And this is Teespring. They're all using Teespring. They're all using the classic design t-shirt. Well, the base model is $10.57. You see, I don't know if you can see it. I'm selling it for $11.57, so $1 profit. And you can get it in any color you want. Yada, yada, any size, any color. Okay, I see these other channels are selling these same t-shirts with their own design, and the designs aren't great. And they're selling them for like over $20. Come on, that's just a bit much. Anyway, I won't go into the whole drag kids thing and the rest of it. My point is that if I had 5 kids in California, I would have just played ball. Because I have the morals of an alley cat. And really, isn't it a little prideful to tweet that pride is a sin to a group of people who are without a God or morals? It's like a virtue signal to the converted. But in his defense, the tweet just wasn't a big deal. EVS totally blew it up to virtue signal for outrage super chats. If Mike was his friend, he should have just ignored it or handled it in DMs or on a phone call. Just phone calls. Pick up the phone and say, "Hey, dude, what are you doing? You want to sell comics, or you want to preach to people who don't give 2 shits about your religion?" I don't know. But EVS feels a need to control things like he did with Nurkish. Before that occasion, I would have said that Comicsgate was totally free speech. And if EVS didn't like Nurkish's Discord, just ignore it instead of gatekeeping free speech. Look, it's pink for girls because the 20-25% of my audience is female. Surprises me. And I have 1 or 2 trans listeners, which is cool, I guess. So maybe pink for the trans listener and the female listener, or I'm putting my foot in my mouth already, aren't I? Pink. If you like pink, get pink. Anyway, the Nurkish Discord. Okay, Discord is cancer. I have a Discord. Nobody uses. I mean, people chime in to say hello every once in a while, and I talk to a few people on there occasionally, but Discord it's just people trying to outdo each other with World War II jokes, if you know what I mean. They try to, like, the N-bomb it's like kids playing video games online. It's like their favorite word is the N-bomb because you tell them they can't say it, so they're going to say it. And the most offensive thing they can joke about is the World War II stuff because they know it's going to get a reaction. And so people are trying to just, it's like the dead baby jokes of the 80s kind of thing. It's just the worst thing you can think of, and to make it funny. So I get it. But like I'm still free speech. I mean, and it didn't hurt EVS to be associated with Nurkic, to have this guy on his show, because it's a few steps removed. EVS isn't saying these things in the Discord. Nurkic isn't even saying these things in the Discord. He set up the Discord, kind of handed it off to someone, and they're saying these funny things. They're just saying the same things they say in 4chan. It's not a big deal. You're not saying them. You're not liable for them. I mean, when the mainstream comics people are constantly tweeting out these asinine statements, don't the Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Knight, they're all come out and say, oh, they're not employees, they're independent contractors. Well, Nurkic is not an employee of anyone. He's not even an independent contractor. He's just a guest. Nurkic didn't make these bizarro comments. It's just 4chan trolling. for EVS to spurg out about it, it's just disingenuous. I mean, you just want super chats. I get it, but is Nurkish your friend or not? You know? Or here's an idea: handle the whole thing privately. But he wants those sweet, sweet super chats. So he's got to burn down his old friends and call them istophobic, which is friggin' hilarious because the SJWs have been calling EVS German socialists that are 30 for years. And let me think. I was, to virtue signal myself, I was in a live stream the other night, and people were calling him, EVS, those things, an istophobic. And I was defending him nonstop. I said, you can't make these kind of claims about him without evidence. I've never heard him say anything istophobic. So you just, to be anonymous and defame somebody is not very cool. Anyway, it's, I've defended EVS, and a lot of other people have defended EVS, which is kind of not so cool because he wouldn't defend us. So anyway, another weird thing that caught everyone's attention, and not in a good way, was when he wanted to take ownership of Comicsgate. He wanted to trademark it, and a lot of people started to nervously look around and say, whoa, hold on there, buddy. You don't own Comicsgate. It belongs to all of us. People started to look at EVS in a new light and started to wonder if he was who they thought he was. If anyone owns Comicsgate, doesn't Richard C. Meyer, doesn't he own it? If he's involved in a lawsuit against Mark Waid for tortious interference and defamation, and you can check out his GoFundMe, because Mark Waid is the devil. And if you want to support your boy Zach, I'll put that GoFundMe link at the end. Richard Meyer was the guy who put Comicsgate on the map. And Captain Cummings. I think of Captain Cummings as the father, the all-father, and Meyer is his only begotten son. So Richard C. Meyer, 316, maybe. EVS came in after it was established, and he slowly seized the reins of power, much like a certain Austrian corporal in Germany so many years ago. I'm kidding, of course, but oddly enough, they both have their cults of personality around them who act as brown shirts. And he does like drawing Sinestro with my struggle. Like I was saying, if I was Mike, I would have stopped trolling on Twitter and played ball with EVS and continued to stack money. But Mike is stubborn. Very, very stubborn. And he has a double chin. Sorry. If it makes him feel better, EVS has a triple chin. He's got to be 300 pounds by now. And let me just say, no, EVS does not owe his platform to anyone. He built it. We're not socialists here. It's his to do with as he pleases. And keep in mind that he has been pretty generous with it. For a $2 super chat, you can have him mention your comic. And there's a decent chance that he'll invite you on and help you sell it. You can't ask for more than that. He has invited me on a few times, but since I'm not selling a book, I figured I don't need to go on there. Save it for people who are actually, in the business kind of thing. It would have got me more subs, but since I know that I'm an acquired taste, I'm definitely not for everybody. Besides, I will eventually do my own live stream, so I have no sour grapes with EVS. I think there's plenty of blame to go around. So I hope I've been fair in this. I defended the guy, and I've criticized him and a few other people in Comicsgate, and I know one guy in the comments will be upset. I think his name is Action Man or Man of Action. I respect his opinions, and he's been very forthright about his opinions, which is cool. It's cool. Anyway, you can like, comment, subscribe, or maybe unsubscribe if you really don't like this video. I get it. That's fine. But I like the art you guys have sent me, and I want to thank you all for making this channel possible. It's been a lot of fun, and I just, I hope Comicsgate can move forward and all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, or maybe get together in Vegas with some hookers and cocaine and some booze. Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next episode.